Good afternoon. My name is Carl Wu. I am the founder of Artists Helping the Homeless. Thank you very much this afternoon to allow me to share with you making a difference one person at a time and how one man can make a difference with true collaborations and creating opportunity for people we serve to thrive and not just to survive. And 13 years ago, I moved my gallery from Leawood, the 90210 place, to the Plaza, which is the #1 shopping center. So to my surprises, I see a lot of homeless people. So my heart goes out to them. So I open my gallery for them to pick up food, pick up some basic supplies. KCUMB's school was very surprised and thought that I was strange. So they did a study on me for 6 months to find out why I'm doing this. And then over time, then I started feeding the homeless at the park. We've been doing that for the last 13 years. So during that period, 10 years ago, St. Luke Hospital was inundated with non-emergency, emergency clients. So they called a citywide meeting to address this homelessness challenge and the emergency challenge. So to their credit, they asked the homeless people, who do they want to work with? My name keep coming up. So they came look for this Mr. Wu. So they invited me to this meeting. For ungodly reason, they said, could you create a program to address this issue? So like, bear in mind now, I'm an artist. I am not a social worker. I know nothing about the challenges of homeless in Kansas City. But of course, if you ask an artist to create something, of course we can do that. A piece of cake. We just start doing this. So I started doing this slow down to create a program to address these issues. I have to go back a little bit to let you understand where I come from. I'm from Hong Kong. At 18, I decided America is the best place to go to. I love America because that would give me an opportunity to do things. Education was important to me. So I applied to go to junior college in the Midwest. Here I am from Hong Kong with the 7.49 million people to go to this wonderful Midwestern town with a population of 4,151. I thought America was one giant San Francisco to New York City. I did not know there's a Midwest. I did not know there's cold, there's snow. I did not know snow was wet. It was no fun. So the first semester, I was politely asked to leave the dormitory. So I don't know what to do. I panic. When in doubt, I go back to what I know. So of course, San Francisco is where all the Asian people are. So of course, I go to San Francisco. And where else will I go? So I walked up and down San Francisco street for 2 weeks looking for a job and couldn't get one. Eventually, a Chinese restaurant in Palo Alto hired me as a busboy. So they pick up the worker in the afternoon and send us back at midnight. So every midnight, I will ride this bus home, quote unquote. And so then I thought all these Americans are very scary. A few years ago, then I realized who in the world ride this bus at midnight in San Francisco. So that was my story, kind of. So that's how I kind of started getting the United States. And of course, my English is horrible. I had to use dictionary. Any one of you use dictionary now? I have 2, 3 hands. So at the time, we have to do that. That's no Google, okay? So that's how I have to learn along the way. And so this is my San Francisco street, so how I kind of get a beautiful scenery. So now 2 years later, I graduate from my junior college. I'm really, really proud of myself. Now I got a new job. I'm a store manager. I'm a retail store manager. I get to go to KU. So lo and behold, I got my first credit card. Do you all still remember Sears? Okay, I got a Sears credit card. So I maxed out my credit card to buy furniture to furnish my home. So I was very proud of myself. I work every day. And I go to school. I'm used to working 60 hours a week and go to school. So then one day, somebody tell me, by the way, your apartment was on fire. And I become homeless overnight. So my boss came to me. They said, do you want to take a couple of days off? Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm a big crybaby. I cried all the way from Hong Kong to Korea on the flight. So I think they hated me at the time. So I said, just let me cry for an hour. I will come right back to work. So Midwestern people are the nicest people. Give yourself a hand. And so the shopping center I work with gave me $100 out of those pennies that you throw in the fountains. They use that to good cause. They gave it to me. And the coworker's mother say, don't worry, kid. Come live in my basement for however long for you to get back on your feet. So I went to her basement and stayed there and tried to put myself back together. And it took me 1 year of work to pay off my credit card debt. And then, of course, fast forward, then I graduated. The semester I graduated, my parents' immigration status got approved. So great, I love having my parents coming over, but what? I have a family of 4 to take care of. So I don't know what to do. So when in doubt, I had to go back to what I know. So I was not allowed to study art. Art is what I love, but I was not allowed to study art because Asian people think art does not make money. Study business. So of course I listened to my parents, so I studied business. But art is what I love and retail is what I did, so I said I'll open a gallery. So at the same time, because I went to college, so I know business said you cannot make money the first few years. Get another job. So I did. I wait on table every night. A few years into that, a couple years into that, I wait on one of the banker. And so now, let's put this in perspective. In the daytime, I'm a gallery owner. At nighttime, I'm this waiter. But I accept my responsibility. I talked to this banker. He said, kid, why don't you come to my bank? I'll give you a loan. So I got that loan. And then my accountant, after 3 years, said, kid, I think you can quit your nighttime job now. You can focus on what you do. The reason why I want to share with you is because it demonstrates if we believe in ourselves, focus, and work towards our dreams, not for money, money will come. I didn't work hard when I come here. I work hard because I want the education. I work hard for the other job because I need to take care of my family. God is really interesting. They put us through these experiences, that we go through, that we're very frustrated, we're angry. But in the end, it will reveal to us there's something we need. And so now that my parents here, I have this type A personality. I want to do everything the best that I know how. Not the best, but the best that I know how. So now I know I cannot run two business because I can run a gallery and a nonprofit at the same time. So I decided to close my business so then I can move on to the next chapter in my life. But the beauty of being a foreigner is I will never be accepted as an American. I will always look as a foreigner. But I can use that disadvantage to my advantage because I look at things from a different set of eyes. I look at things differently. And as an artist, I have to look at things totally different to create. So the first thing I discovered for homelessness is transportations. If they cannot get anywhere, there's nothing we can do. So we created transportation in the beginning as a remedy to address the issues. But guess what? It helps me, not helping them. It helps me. Because they are trapped with me for 20, 30 minutes. They have to listen. So I get a chance to listen to them. Then I learn what their challenges are. Listening is very important. So now I get a chance to create a program from bottoms up, not top down. That's how we created this program. So what I listen is service providers are all great, but they work in silos. So if you go to an emergency room, they address your presenting symptoms, nothing else. If you go to detox, they help you detox for 5 days. If you go to inpatient, they help you inpatient for 21 days. That's it. But what do I do in between? So if I'm a homeless person, I've got off the bridge, I have this motivation. I want to change today. But there's nothing I can do. I go to detox. 5 days later, they ask me to leave. What would I do? Now, guess what? We just waste the community's resource. Detox is $1,000 a day. 5 days later, our community spent $5,000. He's not getting anywhere. So we need to address those missing link services. So we decide that I learn from them, so we create this missing link service program. So we address what is not there, so we can make sure they have a true continual care, a full wraparound service, so that we don't discourage them to having the change they want. And so I'm using this as the cost of doing nothing. You say, why care? Why should we care? You know what? The moment you help this poor gentleman on the street to go to an emergency room to do something, it costs the community $5,390. So that's because you are silent. You didn't do anything. So do we want to spend that kind of money? We don't. So we want to spend those money to help them, not just for those services. So if we don't do something, this is why our taxes are high. This is why our insurance are high. So what do? We have to work with people with no judgment. Again, no judgment, no judgment. We work with them because we care about them. We do not care where they come from. We care about what they want to do in the future. So what I need to open is what I call Bodhi House. It's a respite house. It's so that they have the opportunity to have a safe place to go to. No judgment, they come in. We're making sure they have all the full wraparound service so they can get to the next step in their life. So they can stay there from 2 days to however they need to move on with that. But we also know that sometimes after they move on, they don't have the right place to go to. Some of them might still need a little bit more accountability. So we created an apartment of what I call Finnegan Place so that they can have a longer time to adjust to becoming normal, learning the coping skill, practice the coping skill. So, and housing first is really important, but housing first in itself is not enough. We have to have true full wraparound service. So we create a medical dental unit to make sure they get proactive health care. Because community health care will provide you reactive health care, but not proactive. So every people we work with, we automatically require them to see our dentists and doctors to make sure that there's any challenges we can address beforehand, not afterwards. And also, we want to address the body, mind, and spirits. So it's really important. So I encourage the people I work go to exercise 3-4 times a week. Exercise is discipline. So if we have the discipline, we can move on in life. Because in the population, there's challenge because they want everything spontaneous, instant gratifications. But exercise gives you the discipline. And remember, I came from Hong Kong. I want to go to school. School is important to me, so we create a scholarship fund. That's why you bother to create a scholarship fund, because there's so many Pell Grants and so many loans. The reason is while they are on the street, they might have the good intention to go to school, but with no support, they can't go. Suddenly, they owe the money. There's nothing they can do. So then now they can go back until they pay off the loan. I want to ask this population here, who pay off the loan and go back to school? Not one single person have done that. So we cannot wait another year or 2 years. We don't have that kind of time. So what we do is help them get some scholarship. We pay for their school so they can start going to school, paying on them loan, and then move on with life. Then the other challenge is legal issues. When you're on the street, you have all kinds of different legal issues. Driving while suspended, like possessions or loitering or whatever. So 3 tickets later, you have a warrant now. So what we do is we work with the court system. We lift their warrant so they have the opportunity to address them. So now we can tell the people we work with, hey, we got your warrant now. You don't have to worry. You have to change because you don't have to worry about you're going to be picked up. So those are the important things. Of course, I take them to church if they choose to. It's not religious. If they choose to, they can go. If they don't, that's fine. And, you know, life is really funny. There's always some surprises in life. Remember the nice old lady that helped me? And 2 years ago, she was dying. She was on her hospice bed. She came to me and said, my other son is substance abuse. Can you help him to get clean before I die? We did. She also said, my grandchild is coming out from prison. Can you make sure he gets all the support so that he can get back on track in life? we did. We housed him for 1 year to make sure he stay on track. So when we help somebody, we don't know what will come back to us. It may not be today that you wanted to, or tomorrow you wanted to, but it will come back to you. When she helped me, she did not want it or expect anything from me, but it gives me the opportunity to give back. I never thought I could ever give back to her, but that opportunity arose, and I was very thankful. And so that the question is, how do we do this? So my answer is none of us can do everything. That's why we don't duplicate programs and we maximize collaboration with other service providers. The approach is one person at a time. I cannot save this world, but if I can help one person that can learn how to be giving total empathy and understanding our philosophy and our concept, they can pass it forward. They can pass it forward to the next person. That's how we change the world, one person at a time. So with true continual care and genuine empathy, we create the opportunity for the people that we serve to thrive. We demonstrated with collaboration, we can help one person at a time and to thrive instead of survive. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time.